Today's wisdom sharing topic is the self is selfless. The first self, the self, is capital self, and the selfless is small s. When we say the self is selfless, what does it mean? Literally simply means that the self or the soul or the one or the ultimate element, the self, is selfless, has no self, is without self. And when we say the self is selfless, and we believe that there's only one, as Upanishad says that ekam eva, Brahma is ekam eva, Brahma is only one. And advitiyam simply means Brahma is one and without second. What does it mean? When we say we are individuals, I am this and you are that. So we create ourselves. And the Brahman, the ultimate, or that one, has no individuality because it is without second. So when we say the Brahman is an individual element or identity, then there would be so many individuals, there will be so many identities. All will be different. There would be division, there would be separation. If you know Hindi language, then if you translate this sentence, the self is selfless. In Hindi it says, Khuda ka naam hai bekhudi. Bekhudi means selflessness. And if we believe that there is only one, then what are the symptoms? What will be the consequences of believing that there is only one and there are no individual identities? There is no many, there is only one. And what is the barometer of finding out that whether we believe that reality or the ultimate is only one and there is no separation? All what we perceive is just the one and not any other things. All this existence is just the one and without second. So what are the signs? Do we try to cultivate any virtues? Do we try to eradicate any vices? Now, when I use this word, two words, virtue and vice, so we have a very preconditioned, preset, predetermined concepts of virtues and vices. Kindness, honesty, truthfulness, generosity, non-violence. We all believe these are to be virtues. And opposite to them, cruelty, greed, anger, selfishness, all those things, all those emotions and feelings, we call them vices. They are bad. The others are good. So do we try to cultivate those virtues and do we try to eradicate those vices? And if the answer is yes, then still we haven't understood the concept of the one. Because when situation changes, a virtue can become a vice and a vice can become a virtue. Very simple example I give you. If a soldier kills somebody on the border, if a soldier is fighting against the enemy state, and that soldier kills someone on the border, someone from the opposite side, we reward them. We give them some kind of cross or award or chakra or medal for his bravery. So killing the enemy's person, enemy's soldier, is a virtue there. But if the same soldier kills somebody inside the nation, any civilian, any other person inside the nation, then police will actually arrest him and there would be trial and he would be punished. Maybe even given the death penalty. On both sides, there was killing. The killing of an enemy soldier and killing of your nation's civilian. But killing is a killing. In both incidents, somebody lost their lives. But according to us, according to the norm of the society we live in, one is virtuous and one is cruel. One is rewardable and one is punishable. All these virtues and vices will change their status according to the rules and norms and the mentality of the society. And if we try to cultivate them, or if we try to remove the vices as such, we haven't still understood the concept of the one. Because in the one, there is no separation. In the one, there is no right or no wrong. In the one, there is no good, no bad. But why is that? There is a little story of Guru Nanak. As we know that Guru Nanak was a shopkeeper. And after shutting his shop down, he was sleeping. A Muslim person passed by and he saw Guru Nanak sleeping near his shop. So he requested Guru Nanak to put his feet in the other direction. Guru Nanak said, why are you asking that? That person said that, well, according to our religion, our belief, the west direction is very pious and pure direction, very sacred direction, because in the west from here lies Makkah. And there is a Kaaba stone, which is very sacred to us. And you are actually pointing your feet towards the west, towards that Kaaba. So I feel a bit insulted. Guru Nanak said, okay, fine. I don't want to actually offend your belief or offend your faith, but why don't you actually place my feet in the direction where there is no Allah? Now, there is no dilemma there. If that Muslim places Guru Nanak's feet towards east or south or north or upside even. That simply means that there is no Allah. And Allah is all pervading. God is everywhere. This is very simple little story. But if we believe that that one is everywhere, in and out, it simply means that you cannot reject something in the favor of accepting something. And that is why when we talk about being a witness, when we talk about being a sakshi, what does it mean? The witness does not interfere in any kind of event. The witness does not take side. It only actually explains whatever for example, in the criminal cases, he or she only explains whatever he or she had seen, experienced. And when we are taking sides by rejecting or accepting something, even though that could be virtues or vices, still we are taking sides. If we try to cultivate any kind of particular virtue, like I want to be very kind, and I am not kind enough. So there are two things we are missing. First of all, we are rejecting something in the favor of kindness. And second thing, when we say, because I am not kind enough, I want to be much or more kinder. So there is incompleteness. And the self is not incomplete. Self does not require to be fulfilled by anything. It is already eternally fulfilled. It does not lack anything. It does not have anything in excess even. Because the self is everywhere. And now then there will be a question that, okay, fine, we accept that we are that is only one. And we also accept that a droplet of ocean is no more or less than the entire ocean. So there is a droplet there, and there is entire ocean. So we can say, okay, fine, the ocean is, say, consciousness. And that droplet is also consciousness. But still, we can see two things there. A droplet and the ocean. We believe that we as droplets are conscious as the ocean, the one which is all pervading. But what we are missing even there? Because we are separating the droplet from that ocean, but because of the limited abilities, limitations of our senses, we cannot see, and we do not see the gap between the droplet and ocean is also conscious. Because everything, everywhere is nothing but the consciousness. But because of the limitations of our senses, we separate them as a droplet of water and the ocean. But in between that droplet and ocean, there is a gap. That gap is also conscious. But we cannot perceive that. And that is why duality arises. We cannot perceive the entire existence, everything and everywhere and everyone as one because of the limitations of our senses. So we will say, okay, fine. On the basis of oneness, on the basis of equality, everything is conscious. Everyone is conscious. But still, we actually divide the existence in manyness, in manifold. So if the self is selfless, it simply means there is no individuality. There's only one. Even though our senses cannot perceive it with our eyes and with our ears and etc., still there is nothing but the consciousness. And even that consciousness is not the ultimate element. It is only the expression of the ultimate. We all are being expressed, or you can say the ultimate is being expressed through consciousness as many. So end of the day, there is only one. There is no duality. There is no individualities. Even though our eyes can see the individualities, our eyes can see the varieties of the existence, but still there is only one. And that one is without second. So when we try to cultivate any kind of virtues or try to eradicate any kind of vices, when we have some kind of love or hatred, all those things, all those feelings, all those emotions only arise from duality. Sometimes we say that, okay, fine, love is better than hatred. Definitely, in society, love is better than hatred. When you love somebody, you will have different kind of hormones secreting in your body. When you have some kind of jealousy or hatred or anger towards somebody, your body will secrete different kind of hormones. It's all the game of your hormones. Nothing to do with your consciousness. Nothing to do with that one, the ultimate. And when we are walking on the path of spirituality, this is the biggest obstacle. We try to eradicate vices and we try to cultivate more virtues. But we are either on North or South Pole. We are not in the center. Unless until we are not in the center, on the point of equilibrium, this kind of dualities, happiness and sadness, pain and pleasure, good and bad, right and wrong, will continue to thrive. And after so many years, then we will think, why I cannot still experience that ultimate? Why do I still feel that separation, that division? Why sometimes my anger pops up suddenly? Why do I feel attraction towards somebody or something? All the dualities are the game of hormones and the limitations of our senses. Beyond that, the oneness, the non-duality, the self, and only one element. That is you, that is me, that is all these things what we see, what we cannot see either, both of them. Everything is nothing but the ultimate being expressed through consciousness. And if we forget that concept of the oneness, then even after meditation, even after doing so many things, so many good things, so many right things in our life, but if we are after the realization, and when I say if one is after the realization, it's only the verbal phrase. One should not be even seek the realization, because you are already realized. There wasn't a time when you are not realized, because you are that. You are not separate from ultimate. There's only one, that is you, being expressed as many. So this was the today's wisdom for the self is selfless. You can also share your views. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Vijayji, for sharing this wonderful subject to us. And it answers many of our questions. Like we have the separation, everything happens in the mind, the duality and everything. So ultimately, it is all one. In this concept, there lies many other concepts like judging others, comparisons, interference. And the answer is just be a witness to it. Whatever happens and whatever we are seeing, just witness it without interfering. And we are never separate. It's just in our mind that we think that we are separate. We are always connected and we are always one. And so thank you so much, Vijayji, for sharing this beautifully, very beautifully. It's very eye-opening. Thank you so much. And I request if any of our friends wants to share something or ask something, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, friends. Yeah, Mitlaji, please go ahead, Mitlaji.
Hi, Vijay ji.
Hi.
So I want to ask this question where you see the two things you mentioned, right? The soldier and not soldier. And then people start taking sides, right? Which is right, which is wrong. So why do we do that? What is the concept behind that? Are we not seeing the truth as it is? Or are we altering the truth to fit our needs? Because in a lot of situations in the world, there are sides happening. This side is right, that side is right. But you just explained to us that it's all one side. There's no right this side or that side. So just wanted to know a little bit more about that, Vijayji. I hope I'm asking correctly. I'm not sure, but just wanted some insight on that. That's all.
The only reason when we actually take sides, because we still are in dualities. And why we are in dualities? Because there we want to keep our individualities. If you actually see, all the dualities are born from nothing else than the ignorance and arrogance. Arrogance simply means that my personal individuality. I want to exist throughout. I want to survive throughout because that is me, the I-ness or the my-ness. And then there is ignorance that we are separate. We are individuals. You can see that whatever we cannot achieve in this world, in this life, in this human body as such, then we have created heaven and hell. Why there is heaven and why there is hell in the first place? It's nothing but the creation of our mind. We want to actually be alive. We want to keep our existence even after the death of this body. And so we have created the individual souls. There's only one. Throughout, there's nothing but the consciousness, but we still have created the individual consciousness in our soul, as our soul, because it is our ego. It is our arrogance. I cannot be dying. I should be there always. Even after the death of this body, we say that the soul goes somewhere, and if you have done something good, then you go to heaven or whatever the abodes one believes in. And if you haven't done some good things, then obviously that will be the hell. But still, your soul is there, punished or rewarded. So this is the basic instinct of our survival. We want to survive throughout. And because of that, we have created this individual identity. And when we have individual identity, then obviously there would be sides. And all the sides, it is not actually the normal sides, but according to the society, according to our brought up, we take sides. Sometimes people would say, like, what you are thinking is not right. And you would say, no, whatever I am thinking is right. Why is that? Because of the brought up, because of the culture and society around us, because of our inclination towards particular principle or particular thought. And that is why you can see there will be always more than one political parties. Everyone claims that they want to do something good for the country, something good for the society, but still they will be fighting with each other to get the power. So we always take sides according to our brought up, according to our own thinking, according to our analysis of the situation. And then we would say, whatever I am thinking is better than your thinking. But even sometimes, if we are very humble, we'll accept it, even though I think in this way, but I think that your thinking is much better than mine. But still, you will cling to your thinking. So, when we take sides, it simply means that we are not at the point of equilibrium. Our intelligence as such is still not in the center. We are either going for A or going for B. And because we haven't experienced, or we are not trying to experience the oneness, or we haven't understood the concept or the principle of oneness. And because of that, we take sides. Either wrong side or right side doesn't matter. So arrogance and ignorance, they are the parents of taking sides. And when we actually dip into the idea or the principle or the concept of oneness, everything is one. There isn't any other thing than the one or the oneness or the consciousness or the ultimate or God, whatever name you want to give them. And they are being expressed in different ways, in different situations, in different scenarios. But that can only be understood when one has attained, one has understood or experienced the state of oneness. So when we say Krishna is God and Kans is demon, but both were nothing but the expression of the ultimate. And that is hard to digest because we are brought up in a way, and it is not the fault of the society. If you think deeply, then you can see that whatever is helping your survival, we call it good. And whatever goes against our survival, we label it bad. As simple as that. If someone becomes angry, so we are threatened, and we think we might die or we may be hurt, it goes against our survival, so we have labeled the anger as bad. And if somebody just fell down on the road and somebody is helping that person to get up, that will help his survival, we have labeled it good. So anything goes against our survival, which is our basic instinct, one of them. So anything goes against the survival is bad. Anything that helps our survival is good. And on this principle, the society, the mankind, or we have defined the goodness and badness. So it is our basic instinct, and those basic instincts are built in. We have never asked for them. They are built in for our survival, for the continuation of this game, the game of the expressions in many ways. The entire existence is only a game. In that game, the ultimate is being expressed as many. So that is why we take sides. But when we actually understood the principle of oneness, then one will become the witness and not the participant.
Thank you, Vijayji.
Thank you.
Since anybody wants to share anything? Yeah. So thank you so much once again, Vijayji, for bringing this concept of the self is selfless and putting that seed into us of witnessing it as it is and understanding that we are not separate. So thank you so much. once again, and would like to listen to you next week. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay.
Namaste.
Namaste. All right, friends. So we will all meet again in the morning. Till then, have a great evening and a great day. Namaste to all.